Yo, what's good? It's Skano from the gutter. I want to talk about this internet phenomenon. I don't know her name. The little girl, Miss Shirley, and it's a viral video going around of a young girl, popping, doing different little dances and what they call boots on the ground. I think that's what she became most initially. What you know she went viral for. I think she's like 4 years old. And the mom in the background, coaching her and woo woo. And what people want to do with their own kids, as long as they're not harming them, is their business. You know what I'm saying? But I would say the same thing that I said in regard to the Lil King situation. When Finesse was online with Lil King, is obviously underage. You know, just having them involved in the wrong activities, man. And this is a big problem in our community, man. Our kids be growing up way too fast. They are exposed to things at an early age and this could go for any household, obviously, regardless of socioeconomic status, but primarily, and I'm just speaking from it, I can't speak about what goes on in affluent communities because I didn't frequent those communities very often. I can talk about what happens in the hood, and I know that a lot of the dysfunction, a lot of the, negative characteristics and habits that we pick up come from the people in our environment, namely our parents. Now, I'm not going to go so far as to call out this woman's parenting. Obviously, though, you know, listen, man, kids need to be kids. And I think what happens a lot of times, especially with women like this particular, you know, women try to live vicariously through their young daughters. And I've seen this, you know, in real life. And by that I mean they are not attractive. These women are not all that attractive. Maybe once upon a time they were, but they crave that attention and no longer having the, like I said, or not having, you know, that attractiveness. They will try to like vicariously receive, you know, dressing their daughters up, or like overly, and maybe it's just me, but almost, you know, probably everybody knows somebody like this. Even letting some of these young girls wear makeup, you know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 years old. And that was something like as a father I had, and not to demonize women who do this, but I just don't think y'all see things from a man perspective and how we view, we know how important it is to guard our young women's sexuality. You know what I'm saying? And women kind of just, y'all know too, man. But y'all play, man. Y'all play. And by that, y'all know better, man. Dressing these little girls up, and just, y'all be going too far with the makeup. And like I said, some people consider this harmless, and I mean, to each their own. But like I said, living vicariously, them likes and them views, she derives some type of, psychological, emotional boost from that shit. You know what I'm saying? She can't get the attention, but she can garner the rewards, the residual kickback from exploiting her daughter. You know what I'm saying? Never mind, it could be all type of pervs online watching this too. But listen, man, we need to let our kids be kids. It's already enough, you know what I'm saying, external things in the world that they're gonna be exposed to Like I said, as soon as they get to grade school, you know, this kid's barely old enough to talk right, not potty trained, can barely, barely articulate themselves, but they online doing all this grown shit, and it's just backwards. And it's so many parents out here that need to be flat out, just get your tubes tied. You know, it's a lot of men out here that need to be sterilized because y'all procreate with these goofies. Goofies procreating with goofies. You know, then a lot of times the man ain't even gonna be around. So you got a goofy, you know, at their own device, left to their own devices. A female goofy at that. Worst type of goofy. I'm just kidding. But real shit, man. We don't let our kids grow up, you know. And we wonder why our kids jumping off the porch at 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? Little girls out here promiscuous, popping it, you know what I'm saying? Flaunting their sexuality before they even old enough to have a period. You know what I'm saying? And not to say it only occurs in the black community, but you know, I'm seeing too much of this shit online. And this is why I stay off social media. The more I have gotten, you know, the deeper I go into the rabbit hole of social media, and this is coming from somebody who from the hood, man. It's just the more I'm like, I'm over humanity. But maybe I'm just overreacting to this. Like I said, it's a lot of people feel like this is neither, it's not that big of a deal. I think that in our community where, and teen pregnancy has gone down, but the STD rate has not gone down. And you know what I'm saying? We need to value our kids' innocence for as long as possible. And I'm not, trust me, I'm the last person who can, try to pass himself off as the standard for parenting. You know what I'm saying? I was not, far from a perfect parent, but some things just common sense, man. And that's what I'm saying. It's people out here that don't need to procreate. You know what I mean? You should have to go through a screening process nowadays to procreate because too many, we need to weed out certain genetic traits in our community. But, just my thoughts. 216 Scano. You already know.